What's up, guys? It is your boy Smurfy. Another tier list video. I'm doing it slightly different, so that way they're not like 50 minutes long. So that's a dub for all of us, I think. We get some decent views, so I'll also give my opinion on it. Um, so we're gonna start. So I've had some time, I think, to really digest the additions of Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman. And with the nerfs as well is change meta a little bit. Nothing crazy, as you can tell, but still there's some changes that are notable. So in S tier, I think even though he got nerfed, Strange is still to me the best tank in the game. Groot, it's like the gap is a lot closer with Groot, but he's still the best tank in the game. The damage is still good. The portal's versatility is just kind of it's just you can't really nerf that, so it's just gonna be what it is. But it's people get so creative with it. It's got so much utility. It's really valuable in my opinion for this game. Groot is just really hard to kill and hard to deal with. He can do some solid damage, and his ult is also really strong. So nothing much there. Hela's nerf was stupid. Not even really a nerf, really. She lost some health, but I mean that was never really gonna be something that was gonna really nerf her anyway. So she's still really strong. I don't see her played as much, so maybe that was maybe it's doing something. But to my understanding and how strong Hela still is, still to me S tier. Luna, Snow, and Mantis, of course, are there. So two of the best ultimates in the game. Mantis still does great damage. Luna, Snow, again, also great damage and can heal. And ultimates are crazy, especially Luna's. Still insane. I've added Psylocke and Bucky to the S tier. Now that might be a hot take, but here's the thing. Their ults are such game wreckers that I feel like that's why this S tier is here. Anybody with the ult that's a game changer, I've put in S tier basically. Outside maybe like Star Lord, which I think is still good. Don't get me wrong, but there's something that I don't. This is just a different level of like game changing. Like this is a team wipe right here. This is a team wipe easily. This is not like a full team wipe, but it will mess your back line up, which pretty much ruins your whole team. And she's just hard to lock down for that reason. And because of the nerfs to like Hela and Hawkeye, I think it moves her up here in my opinion. Because Hawkeye is not as good. Still good, don't get me wrong, but he's not as strong. Cloak and Dagger with the additional layer for her ultimate and the cooldown for her bubble has made her healing slightly better uptick. And then the ultimate though itself has made it where it's not like a game record, but it counters a lot of these ultimates. It counters Hela's. It can counter Strange's decently well. Probably not if you're playing in a trash team, but I mean there's times I can get out of it with this ultimate. Kind of like minimize damage with these two. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I have Cloak and Dagger up here because that ultimate can really like keep your team alive when like these guys are ulting, like Bucky, Psylocke, Hela, especially Hawkeye, really anybody. Only when you're really not gonna get issues like really you're looking at Iron Man and anybody at one shots for ultimate, like maybe like a Storm, but yeah, I think this is a good spot for them for now. S tier. I think they're low S tier though. Like they're like the lowest S tier. Because I still don't think their healing is nearly as good as these two. With the fact that they can both do damage at a way better clip while healing versus switching between the two here. But I still have Cloak and Dagger here. I think I'm totally okay with him being top of A, but for now S. Hulk, I have an A tier. I know a lot of people have an S tier. He's still strong. He did get nerfed a bit from his shield. He's still really good. His bubble is actually really good. I think I've seen a lot of good uses from the bubble and protection and stuff like that. So I do see a bit more value in the bubble. I don't have these in any particular order, but I will mention it if I do have them maybe in a specific spot for a reason. But for the most part, they're kind of just in the tiers that they're supposed to be in. And Nito as well. These are guys I usually have on your team because these two get banned. These are the two you want to use. I have Thor here. Thor's oppressive. I mean, I've seen some really good Thor play. He's oppressive and he can do solid damage. I think he's possibly one of the better tanks to match up with Wolverine because he's just as tanky. Actually, he's more tanky than Wolverine. So even with the added damage from Wolverine here, still crazy. Hawkeye is still here. He's still does all damage. There's just he just got nerfed a little bit, but he's still good. Like you can still run Hawkeye. I don't think his ult's still also really good. Iron Man just hard to deal with at times because of the gamma beam and the gamma buff. That's basically it. Adam Warlock is up here. I'm probably having lower A just because the buff to Rocket, Invisible Woman, like to me, he doesn't bring enough healing to the table consistently to be one of the better healers in the game. he still has like he's a good supplemental healer. He still has a decent ult that can pretty much save you a game maybe in most cases, if used correctly. But like in the damage is actually pretty nice, but the healing is being sacrificed there. But again, like honestly, you can argue because he's still someone I would say in some 3 healer metas maybe you're still running an Adam Warlock just because of that damage he does. It's kind of crazy. The chain heal is nice and the spreading of the damage, his other ability, and it's like an overtime heal is really good. But that damage you can basically one shot or one burst down anybody that's like not a tank, which is pretty nasty for a healer. Now the one thing that does hurt him is any dive comps. He's kind of cooked. He has no way to get out of anything, so he's kind of cooked in that case, which is why I also have him lower. Mr. Fantastic, and I'll talk about both of them because they both got added at the same time. And Sue Storm is a woman. They are. I said like they be between S tier and A tier. I think they are as of right now A tier. I'm pretty confident in that. Mr. Fantastic is super impressive. I think in the right hands. So he's kind of like Thor. He's just hard to deal with because he has so much ways to survive. That like a good Fantastic can keep brawling, and he's a duelist brawler, so he can really like has like strong ability by himself, and he can probably win pretty much majority of his 1v1s. If there's any 1v1 ever, you're not winning it, Mr. Fantastic. His ult isn't as good as I thought it would be. It's still good, but it's basically just a diluted version of this one of Bucky's, and doesn't really do as much damage. But it is like hard to lock him down in that ult. In my opinion, it's hard to seem like lock him down on that side of it. But mainly his like survivability is what I think is valuable. He's basically like a sub tank kind of. While it's not losing a ton of damage, right? Losing damage for sure, but like he's diving backline with the tank basically, and I think he's more survivability than any of these other dive tank duelists. Venom is still good. I don't have no qualms with Venom. He just doesn't have a ton of team utility. That's my main issues with him. He's still A tier. He's still good. I mean, that didn't change. He didn't really get touched either. So Moon Knight still really good. Still annoying to deal with the Onks, but that's about it. Namor, because of the nerfs, he's a little bit better than I'd probably would take him over Hawkeye, honestly, because the Octopus's returns are pretty good. He's also has like really solid damage too, and ultimate's pretty interesting. But yeah, I do have Namor probably higher up. Star-Lord also super good. These two I think I'll take these two over Hawkeye right now. Their ultimates are really good as well. I think all 3 are ultimates, but this dude's game record, especially with like a Loki copy, is just really annoying to deal with. It's like instant killing right there. But yeah, these guys are really good. Another new entry that was actually relatively low last time, Squirrel Girl. She got buffed, and oh my god, her ultimate is now just really annoying to deal with. Like it is just if you don't knock it down and melt it down immediately, your team is setting your team up to be like kind of cooked. And then the worst part about it is like in these team fights, it's just hard for you to go sit there and focus on an ult that's like targeting your team. It bounces off and has a pretty strong amount of life, and it can go on for a little bit. So for that alone, I think she's A tier, and she's been pretty impressive. It seems like in the ranked games I've been playing, she can be kind of a game changer because she just can do damage from anywhere. Doesn't have to really aim. She has AOE and it bounces, so it's like she can get pretty creative with how her placements and where she's hitting people at. And she has a lockdown. To me, CC is really good. As you can see, two of the best players in the game. CC. Technically has CC as well. As a hook, CC. This does not have CC, but again, I don't know there. Storm, dude, oh my god, yeah, they buffed her for sure. So she's A tier to me. She's actually like her ultimate was really good before. It's still really good now, and not to mention her autos are better, and her like combos, her cooldowns are better. Everything's better about her. So yeah, she's A tier. That's basically all I have to say about it. Punisher still same Punisher, still super good, reliable, simple kit. Wolverine got buffed. It was really annoying, and he got nerfed a little bit, but buffed as well. But he's also just a really good character. Like people are running him in the pro scene for a reason. He can 1v1 pretty much most duelists on this list. He doesn't bring a ton else to the table outside of that. Like he's a good duelist, but doesn't bring any outside utility wise. Like for example, Bucky has his lockdown. His ultimate's also way better than Wolverine's. Wolverine's is good, but it's not a game changing ultimate. Really just to focus on like 1 or 2 characters, maybe max. I was talking about Invisible Woman. Oh, I didn't really talk about. Actually, that's fantastic. I completely just brushed that aside. Invisible Woman's actually really nice as well. I think she does heal pretty well from her auto, and she has an interesting mechanic where it bounces. So it'd be like some people are aiming at people's feet. That way you get the quick hit and then the back return on it. Kind of in the same case. I don't do that as much, but I still try to do it on occasion. Keep a conscious mindset of doing so. It's still good, but again, you don't really necessarily need to do it. Her best thing about her kit is probably the shield that she deploys, because it does help make up for the having to hit accurate shots with your auto, which can be hard at times, and it helps also like protect your teammates at a consistent rate, and the cooldown's really low on it, so you can kind of just spam that like crazy and get chunks of health and protect your team from any projectiles consistently. So honestly, very useful. Her ult is kind of underwhelming, but also really good still. Like she can counter a lot of ult still, just not like quite to the level of Cloak and Dagger. The mechanic that you can't really see in there is also annoying and slow, so it kind of does some really good stuff that people don't really want to deal with. So it's invaluable in itself. Loki has really still good, still does his thing, can copy ults, yeah, does damage. And then Rocket, because he should be a little bit higher, honestly. I probably have Rocket actually probably a higher, honestly, as far as healers. I'm probably actually having him as the highest healer. Not like in this order, obviously, but he's the highest healer. That's what I'm trying to say in the A tier. Just because I do think his heals per second is really good. They bumped that up. He already has really good survivability. He gets the health armor packs. Ult is a damage boost, right? Like, and he can easily heal people from heights and doesn't necessarily connect with every single hit to really heal his teammates. Or he has decent damage from his minigun. Nothing crazy though. Only downside is it takes a bit between each shot to get off for his heal, but other than that, he's a fine healer. The buffs. Yeah, going on to then the B tier, I have basically it's B tier, but it's more situational characters if anything. Like so S tier, you're gonna want to probably play if they're not banned. A tier are people that you can substitute for the people that get banned, and also that you can run and be comfortable running, and you should win with them. B tier is situational to me. All these divers that are in here, basically, I have all the divers in here because they're basically all situational. Because like if you have a penny, that's just hard for those guys that have the skill set to deal with it. I've seen people do it, but it's still just hard to deal with on a penny nest. I mean, Jeff, I haven't beat tier, not because he's a diver, but he's just kind of useless. I haven't really seen a Jeff pop off in a long time. I think Jeff is okay. I don't think he's crazy. I think he might be the worst healer in the game in reality because he doesn't do a ton of damage. He doesn't like do a ton of healing. His ult is hard to deal with and annoying and to deal with, but that's about it for him. Penny is basically all defense. She's good against the dive characters, but when there's no dive characters, there's not really a point. When you're on attack, there's no point. Like I had a game today, and the Penny was just putting her nest so far back where we're moving with the point that it was just a non-factor the whole game. And her stats suffered for it, and she got flamed. A little grease ball. Talking about we weren't healing her. I'm 23k healing. So obviously that's just false. So anyway, Spider-Man, kind of the same thing. Spider-Man, Iron Fist, Magic, Black Panther are all kind of the same, right? They just if there's a penny, they kind of struggle. I mean, Iron Fist is more survivability, and he has more interesting like counter measures. Black Panther does have like he's hard to lock down, and same with Magic. But I can't again like it's female protein. It's gonna be harder. These guys aren't like perfect characters by any means. The damage, the nerf for the Black Panther as well as hurt him. I think a good bit for as far as survivability. So you probably see him ran a little bit less. I feel like I haven't struggled as much as I feel like I'm playing the same level I was with him without the buff, so I'm not like too pressed about it honestly. But it is enough to where I'm like I do notice it. Scarlet Witch, still a good character overall, especially with Magneto buff, but I don't think she's a duelist you're gonna want to run at the higher ranks because these guys are just gonna out damage her. Like any good of this is gonna just completely destroy this. Anything good of this, I can 1v1 Scarlet Witch, and pretty much 9 times out of 10, I'm 1v1ing her and I'm winning that because she still doesn't do a ton of damage with her auto. Her ult is still not to be desired. It requires a lot to build her and play around it, but it can be still a game changer at times. So she's in B tier. Cap still sucks in my opinion. I don't get it. People talk about Cap. I don't see it. He just does just cardio, bro. This guy is literally just getting his cardio. Like, I literally had a game where the guy just ran around the whole time. He has a 3k healing. This dude was a Lord Captain America. Keep in mind, he's a Lord Captain America. This sicko's been playing Captain America like crazy for at least 20, probably 20, 30 hours on Cap. But this man can't get more than 3K damage on cap. Every time I saw him, he was just running around. The dude was just running. He just Forrest Gumped his ass throughout the game, just straight running. Nothing else. Just not. At one point, he was just standing there and just shielding nothing. No one even was worried about him. The team wasn't even looking at him actually. Because he was just so like, just not like intimidating at all. Nothing to worry about. There's no part of this kid that really comes out without. If you have Thor, sure, but even then, you're 2 dive tanks, which means you're leaving your healers to dry. So it makes no sense to run 2 dive tanks unless they're that good on the character. Which usually in 9 times out of 10, again, they're not. I get to see one impressive cap yet. I've not seen one. I've not seen it. Just won't see it. I don't think I'll ever see it. Black Widow still sucks ass. Still the worst character in the game. Actually, it was now the worst character because I have flipped them actually. But yeah, no cap. Black Widow's cheeks, by even with the buffs to her, she's like they gave her extra on her fleet foot. I think some more explosive damage, I guess. But it's not even noticeable. People are still trash. People are still aren't using her. She doesn't bring anything to the table. Her melee being like a main facet for her is just trash. I mean, I get the line behind it, but it's not doing anything any favors when people play her from range anyway. So again, it's just like this character needs to be reworked. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Or it's not broken either, so that's a fair point. But yeah, that's that on it. I guess I could quickly go through the change ups and see what time we have on here. I don't want to have this video be super long for you guys. 16 minutes. Yeah, I can get 4 more minutes. I can do it in 4 minutes. I'm just gonna put them in order on this bottom D tier. I'm putting probably first one, honestly, probably gonna be definitely not this one. I'm saying that this is last. Because anyone Black Widow is completely fucking useless. If you use this, if you're trying to get this team up, you're using Black Widow, which means you're throwing automatically. I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna put this one probably near the top because Luna Snow is really strong, and so is Namor. So I think that one's probably number 1 for me. It does bring so much to the table for as far as him getting another turret, the frost damage or whatever, as well as an addition, also really good. Then I probably will put this at number 2 because Magneto being so strong, that extra bit of damage he gets makes him an even better offensive threat. It makes him almost worth playing Scarlet Witch over these other duelists because of the added damage, especially when you guys are banned. And you kind of need more damage at times. I'm thinking I'm putting this one. I don't see it get ran a lot because I don't think like you don't see Thor ran a lot, but I do like the concept of it and like the players that it's involved. So honestly, I'm here for it. After that, oh man, this one's kind of mid. I'll put I guess this one here because this is actually like a free come back to life, especially for like a Star Lord that's kind of big or Mantis. It's massive. Well, it's good and all as well, but the fact that you get to bring back basically Star Lord or Mantis really close by without having to go back to spawn can be massive for a team. Like I can lead him getting his ultimate off right before a point, so I love this. And then I do like the Rocket team up with to Bucky and Punisher. Again, limited ammo for 2 guys that can win you a game. Just no brainer. It's a no brainer. We should probably have it higher, honestly, than this. I probably should, but we're just gonna leave it because I don't want this video to go over 20 minutes. After that, my fault. I forgot about the Gamma buff. My fault. Sorry, Gamma buff number 2. Actually, you know what? Gamma buff number 1. Because he's A tier, but with the Gamma buff and all that going on, we could be arguably more a better asset than any of these guys in S tier. Because he's able to shield, he's able to dive, be strong. It buffs Iron's Gamma Beam and works well with Doctor's range, which is also the best thing in the game. So again, yeah, I was slumped. I'm sorry on that, but yeah, that's better. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not big on this one, but I'm probably gonna put this one here because I think it's the most next most beneficial. I'm gonna put it like right. I mean, it does damage like that, and it helps with survivability a bit for the characters that are part of it. But honestly, I'm not impressed by it. I've not been impressed. This I don't know what this trash is. I don't even use this. I've not seen it be effective. I don't think it does anything. It's ahead of this one just because this you can't get worse than this. You can't because this character is unusable. Actually, I do like this one as well. Maybe a little bit better because that is like, makes Black Panther able to be a bit harder to even lock down even more so. And they get the damage buff, so I do like that a lot. I'm gonna put this one here. I haven't seen it yet in action, but I really have high hopes for it. So honestly, I move this up because with Storm being so stronger now, and with Thor, and it makes Cap more usable with it. So I'm interested to see how it goes moving forward. This is basically just I guess it helps with Groot a little bit, which is nice, but not really doing well for the team. This is just this man getting thrown, basically, in all reality. I'm not really a big fan of that. And Lunar Force is basically useless because that's the additional stats you get, of course. But outside that, you get a little area for Smoke Screen, but that's not really useful because it's only locked down to a certain area, and I've never seen it be effective, honestly. So it is down here as well. So went through that, got that done in 20 minutes. Tell me y'all think in the comment section about the video, about the tier list. Tell me what you guys would change, what you would keep. Tell me if you guys are excited for the Thing and Human Torch. Where do you think they're gonna be? I think I probably will do my next tier list video when they get there. Cause I don't think they're doing any patches or nerfs or anything like that before then, which will be like the end of February. So I do got I'll do another video then for that tier list, at least on that one. But yeah, let me know if you guys, what you guys think about it. Do you think it's accurate? What would you change? What would you keep? Let's debate it. Debate in the comments. But yeah, I think that's about covers everything. This has been Smurfyy. I'll see you guys next time.